Good evening and welcome to NFL Trending. I'm Roger, bringing you the latest stories making waves around the league. Tonight's headline involves a legend of the game, Tom Brady, and one of the brightest young quarterbacks entering the NFL spotlight, Shedeur Sanders. The conversation started when reports surfaced that Tom Brady, the seven-time Super Bowl champion and future Hall of Famer, pulled aside Shedeur Sanders with some veteran advice. His message was simple: focus less on luxury cars and more on building the discipline, mindset, and consistency that create a lasting NFL career. Brady, known for his relentless dedication to the game, reportedly warned Sanders that buying Rolls-Royces and flashing wealth too early could distract from the bigger goal, becoming a true franchise quarterback. For those unfamiliar, Shedeur Sanders, the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, is one of the most talked about prospects to come out of college football in recent years. After transferring to Colorado and playing under his father, Shedeur quickly became the face of a program that dominated headlines last season. His strong arm, quick release, and poise under pressure caught the attention of scouts, while his confidence and lifestyle choices have made him a trending figure far beyond the football field. But Shedeur has also leaned into his flashy side. From wearing custom watches to arriving at games in high-end cars, Sanders has embraced a bold personality. It's part of his brand, and he's never shied away from showing it. Yet, when a player like Tom Brady speaks, the football world listens. Brady's warning wasn't about denying success or criticizing confidence. It was about priorities. He reminded Sanders that the NFL is a league where nothing is guaranteed, and the only path to greatness is consistent hard work, not luxury purchases. Brady himself is the perfect example of that philosophy. Throughout his 2 decades in New England, he was known for a strict lifestyle, famously avoiding distractions, investing in his body, and putting football above everything else. He often drove modest vehicles and avoided making headlines for lavish spending, even after becoming one of the most successful and wealthy athletes in the world. His message to Shedeur is clear: greatness comes from sacrifice, not from showing off early paychecks. Now, this interaction has sparked major debate across sports media. Should a young star like Shedeur Sanders embrace his flashy lifestyle, or should he follow Brady's example and dial it back? Some analysts argue that Sanders is simply part of a new generation of athletes who are building personal brands alongside their careers. They say the Rolls-Royce and the flashy jewelry aren't distractions. They're tools of self-expression and marketing. After all, today's athletes live in the era of nil deals, sponsorships, and global influence. For Sanders, being flashy could be part of his long-term strategy to build a recognizable brand. On the other hand, critics point to cautionary tales. Many highly talented athletes have entered the league with hype, only to see their careers derailed by distractions, poor financial decisions, or lack of discipline. For every Tom Brady who focused on longevity, there are others who faded quickly after prioritizing lifestyle over preparation. The NFL is ruthless. Success comes from consistency, film study, preparation, and maturity. And that's the message Brady wanted to deliver to Sanders before the young quarterback gets too comfortable in the spotlight. Deion Sanders, Shedeur's father, has also weighed in on similar topics in the past. Coach Prime has never discouraged his son from enjoying success, but he's also emphasized accountability and professionalism. Deion himself was one of the flashiest players in NFL history, famously known as Prime Time. He wore gold chains, drove luxury cars, and wasn't afraid to show his personality. Yet, Deion also backed it up with Hall of Fame level play. The big question now is whether Shedeur will find that same balance between confidence and discipline. For the Denver Broncos, who drafted Sanders as their quarterback of the future, this discussion matters. The franchise has been searching for stability at the position for years, and their investment in Sanders is more than just about talent. It's about leadership. Quarterbacks aren't just expected to throw touchdowns. They're expected to be the face of the franchise, set the tone for the locker room, and embody discipline. That's where Brady's advice holds weight. Current and former players have also chimed in. Some have echoed Brady's warning, saying that young stars need to be careful not to let early fame cloud their focus. Others defend Sanders, pointing out that he hasn't even played a down in the NFL yet, and he's already being held to standards that older veterans weren't judged by so early. They argue that as long as Sanders shows up, studies the playbook, and delivers on Sundays, what he drives to the stadium shouldn't matter. Fans, of course, are split. Some believe Shedeur is being unfairly criticized for enjoying the rewards of his hard work and nil earnings. Others say Brady's advice should be taken as gospel. After all, if the greatest quarterback of all time tells you to focus on the game, you listen. Looking at the bigger picture, this story isn't just about Rolls-Royces or flashy cars. It's about generational differences in the NFL. Tom Brady represents the old-school mentality, laser-focused on football. Everything else comes second. Shedeur Sanders represents the new era of athletes, blending sports, entertainment, and culture into one platform. Neither approach is necessarily wrong, but success in the NFL always comes down to results. If Sanders wins games, his lifestyle will be seen as confidence. If he struggles, it will be painted as arrogance. That's the reality of the league. Financial experts have also weighed in, reminding young athletes that early wealth can disappear quickly if not managed properly. The average NFL career lasts less than 4 years, and while Sanders is projected to be a long-term starter, nothing is guaranteed. Brady's warning, in that sense, is also about sustainability, making sure Shedeur doesn't burn through earnings before securing long-term financial stability. For now, Shedeur Sanders hasn't directly responded to Brady's remarks, but those close to him suggest he respects the veteran's advice. Still, Sanders remains unapologetically himself, and that's part of what makes him one of the most compelling young stars entering the league. As this story unfolds, one thing is certain: Shedeur Sanders is under the brightest spotlight of any rookie quarterback in recent memory. Every move, every word, every purchase will be dissected. But if he can balance the lessons from legends like Brady with his own confidence and identity, he could carve out a career that not only lives up to expectations, but defines a new era of quarterback leadership. To wrap up tonight's top story, Tom Brady's message to Shedeur Sanders wasn't about cars. It was about focus, longevity, and the mindset needed to succeed in the NFL. Whether Shedeur listens or not will be revealed in how he approaches the next chapter of his career. That's all for this edition of NFL Trending. I'm Roger. Thank you for joining me. Stay tuned for more headlines, more debates, and more coverage of everything shaping the NFL. Until next time, keep trending with us.